Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today is a different kind of video. I'm going to give some general tips and tricks that do better in DMZ. DMZ has easily become my favorite mode to play in the new Call of Duty, whether it's multiplayer, Warzone, or DMZ. I play a lot of DMZ. It's a very unique mode where there's no set objective really. The objective is whatever you want it to be. There are missions you can work on and there are things you can kind of work at, but really you can make it whatever you want. If you want to hunt other players, you can hunt other players. If you want to complete all the missions for each faction, you can do that too. If you just want to jump in and mess around and try different things, you can easily do that. DMZ is a very unique experience and it's something I've enjoyed a lot. So the general gist of DMZ is about 60 players. I believe it's 60 or 66 players drop into El Mazrah, which is the Warzone map, which I'll bring up on screen here in a minute when I go over the first point and tip. So you go in and you have to extract all of your stuff. You can go in normally one shared weapon slot unless you level up your factions, and you'll get more, but we'll go in that later. And then everything you bring out, like weapons, one kill streak, a self revive, armor, or backpack, you can keep. So you just want to go in, get geared up, complete a mission, a contract, whatever you would like, and that is your goal. You kind of set the goal for yourself and set what you want to do. It's very important when you go into DMZ to set a goal. If you're going for an extraction streak to get perks, do that. If you're trying to do a mission, focus on that. You have to really give yourself a goal unless you're just trying to kill people or mess around. So we're going to get right into this and we're going to switch over here. The most important thing about DMZ is knowing the map and knowing where you need to be. So we're going to go over the first and most important thing is spawns. Where do you spawn in Al Mazrah for DMZ? Well, typically it's going to be around the edges of the map or along these rivers to some degree. Normally you don't spawn near El Mazrah City or Hydroelectric, but you can spawn around this area and you can spawn around this area. So knowing generally where you're spawning is really important because you can't control where you spawn. It's entirely random. If you bring keys for the airport, you could easily spawn up in the Oasis or in the quarry and you're all the way across the map. Given that you only have half an hour until the zone expands, that's not a lot of time if you want to stay alive. So another thing to consider is you're deploying with up to, I would say, 20 squads ish, maybe more than that. It depends on how many people are filling. If it's all like one or two stacks that didn't fill their squad, it could be more than that. So a lot of these spawn points can spawn very close together. For instance, I've spawned right here on port, like right in this corner, and had someone else spawn right here. So we're a couple second walk away from seeing each other. There are some spots, even though they've taken most of them out, where you can just straight up see other players immediately. Like if you spawn in this corner on the port, people can spawn up here by quarry, and if you turn with a sniper rifle, you can see them and take shots at them immediately. So just because the game just started doesn't necessarily mean you're safe. Another big place with conflict is the airport. There's normally a team that spawns here. This is a very common spawn I get. And there's one that's here and here now. So the airport gets busy fast because the airport is an area that has a lot of decent loot. Up here as well, this whole area here, pretty much a team spawns every couple hundred meters up here. So anywhere you go left or right immediately up here, there's a high chance you'll see a team. And the last really hot spawn I would be in mind of is down here by this underwater village in Seraph Bay. There's a spawn right here and right here. If you're on this spawn, oop, I messed up the map. If you're on this spawn right here, you can very easily jump up and get to someone right there. It is not difficult to do. So just keep in mind where you're spawning and if it's a hot spawn. Another thing is to know where the loot is. So unless your mission is taking you somewhere, you typically want to go someplace where you have a chance to find the golden containers or the stuff that has the high loot. The airport will always have it, like at least 8 of them. The airport is a very hot spot. Any denied area or key used area is very good, but this one doesn't require a key and you can easily get into it. There's plenty of doors, you can drop into it. Very easy to get into. The fortress has a crap ton of loot. It is a very good place to go for loot, and if you have the key to the underground, there's so many chests in there. However, there is normally someone down there. That isn't a spot you're going to get away with very easily. And then the mall right here in Sayad City, you can drop into that, and that has a ton of stuff. Ronin Oil has one you can easily get into, but these are all kind of hot spots because people know this. The observatory is probably one of the hotter spots because this also often has the weapons case in it. What the weapons case is a special case. When you pick it up, you're marked on the map permanently. And there's 7 unique rewards, from blueprints to calling cards to, I think the last one is a operator skin. So just be mindful of these hot spots. Sometimes if you're on a kill like a perk streak, every time you exfil you can get a random perk if you've done a contract. It might be a good idea to steer clear of El Mazrah City or Observation or Airport, just because there's a high likelihood that you're going to run into players there. And that's just something you want to be wary of. Just know where the players are going to be. And most of those places I mentioned are going to be the big ones. Future Ben here. I forgot to mention contracts. There are many contracts, whether it's eliminating high value targets, eliminating squads, doing recon, acquiring certain objectives. They're all over the map, and you need to do one of those to get your exfil streak. A very important one, and the most important one, is hostage rescue. If you can do hostage rescue, a extract helicopter will come down to get the hostage out, and you can actually extract from a different extract point than everybody else, and it's a very easy and safe way to get out of the map if you're on a streak. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind where the hostages are, and if you're running out of time, just go do a hostage mission, jump on that helicopter, and get out of there, because no one else is going to know that helicopter is there unless they see it. It won't be on their map, and it's a very easy way to get out of DMZ. And then lastly, there is the contamination zone. So the contamination will be a yellow circle on your map. Once the timer hits 0, that begins expanding. And there's 3 extraction points on the map. They're kind of semi-random, but there's spots they can be, but they're basically random. But once all those are hit by radiation, there'll be one final extract. That one final extract is one chopper to get out. So just kind of make sure you're aware of where you on the map, how much time you have left, and are you achieving your objective. So just definitely find a map and just kind of look at it if you haven't played a lot of Warzone or DMZ, and just kind of have an idea of where you're going. Just because getting lost and getting shot from someplace you have no idea is just the quickest way to lose your loot in DMZ. And then again, losing your loot in DMZ isn't the end of the world. I wouldn't play so scared that you're just terrified to lose everything, because it isn't. You do have a weapon that you get back every 2 hours, so it's not the end of the world. We're going to move into game here, and I'll show you some more stuff in game and just go further in the tips that aren't necessarily the map. Alright, moving in game here, I'll kind of show you what the DMZ menu is, what's going on here, and what I'm working with. So first off, let's start with weapons. There's 2 kinds of weapons in DMZ. There's your insured slot, which is a weapon you get back every 2 hours. If you were to die, you get it back in 2 hours. If you extract with it, you keep it, and you just keep rocking with it. You can see as you level up your factions, you get more of these, so there's a less likelihood that you won't be able to bring one in. And then contraband weapons cannot be edited, cannot be used anywhere else. These are one and done DMZ weapons. So if I were to bring in this Fennec 45 and die with it, it is gone forever. If I were to bring in any of these are one-time goes, including this grenade launcher here. This one is only found in building 21, but insured weapons here are one of one. Once you die with them, they're gone forever. I'm in a unique spot here where I have my Kostov 545. There's a little trick you can do here if you want more contraband weapons, so you can bring in that and an insured weapon. If you were to pick this up, have someone else use it, and they drop it, it'll become contraband. Now, I believe it has to be an enemy, or you can get rid of your friend in your squad, let him have it, and then invite it back, so you can kind of build up your contrabands to be decent weapons that way. And you can also see on my screen, this is what I extracted with last time. I have both my weapons. I have my spotter scope, which I think is actually a hot take, the best tactical for this. Flashes are overpowered, shock sticks are very good, but their spotter scope can spot people in thermal from hundreds of meters away before they even know you exist. It's very good. You get your keys in this, and like if you had a key card for building 21 or any of these kind of things, they would all stay in your backpack. But you can also keep your on-soldier stuff in the top left. Like I have a full armor carrier, I have a durable gas mask, a sentry gun, and a self-revive. You can keep all of that, whatever you have equipped. Now, if you have a second kill streak in your backpack, you do not keep that. So make sure you have the kill streak you want to keep equipped. And missions for the factions, I'm on 4, 3, and 3, I believe. Pick the mission you're most likely to do and focus on one, but bring other missions that are possible to do when you're not trying. So right now we have Roof Rat and Medical Mule on the screen. We're trying to deliver stims and we're trying to kill people with snipers in Al-Mazrah City. Those are the kind of, depending on where we spawn, that's what we focus on. But we also run the Whale, which is extract a single backpack carrying 200,000 in cash or valuables. That can be anyone in your squad. So we just look at it when we're about to extract. Do we have anyone near that? Can we put all of our stuff on one person and extract with 200k? It's very possible. So just kind of keep in mind that your missions work together and you can do them at the same time. Like there's one that's like this one with complete HVT contracts, and there's another one that we needed to get silencer kills. So we just used silencers and HVTs and we just kind of did them together. Another thing is filling squad. While playing with random people is fun, it can actually be very bad for you in DMZ. And what I mean by this is yes, it's always good to go in with more people. The more people, the better. But with proximity chat being a thing and how many people on this game leave their mic open with proximity chat, if you're playing with randoms that you don't know and they're talking in proximity chat, every squad that gets within 55 meters of you will hear them talking and know you're close, and they will start looking for you. So definitely think twice and be sure you're ready for that, because that can get you in trouble very, very, very fast. Another thing I want to mention here is the exfil streaks. So exfil streaks here, every time you complete a contract on the map and extract, you'll keep the streak going up to 10. You can have 10 random perks. This includes things like ghosts that will keep you off the UAV, and that is invaluable because there's UAV towers at most landmarks that are free UAVs you can just ping. So having ghosts is extremely important and allows you to get the drop on a lot of people. Now, while getting drop on people and killing people is fun in DMZ, also remember that a lot of people are here to complete missions and not to fight you. Now, obviously, don't walk up to people and assume they're friendly. I would be very careful and treat them as hostile first. But if you're close to someone, you know they're in the same building as you. I believe it's on Xbox and PS5. It'd be like hold right on the directional pad. You can send an invite to local players and make your squad bigger. Me and my one of my friends that play, we were running around 9 people in our squad. There's no one in DMZ that's going to take down 9 people. So just, if you're in a position where you don't want to fight or don't think you can win a fight, just throw out an invite. There's a really good chance they'll join your squad and you no longer have to worry about them. So that's just a very, very nice idea, just so you don't have to be so worried about fighting. And then I'm going to just give a brief run in the Building 21. Building 21 is a secondary deployment zone that is a weapons facility. It is all indoors, it is 3 floors, and it is very tight quarters. I think I'm going to make a separate video entirely on this, purely because the builds are completely different and how you should play is different. You almost have to play like multiplayer because it's so close quarters and all the bots are the heavily armored bots. So DMZ is a completely different beast, and we're supposedly going to have a resurgence map in Season 2 starting on February 15th, and I'd be very, very surprised if we don't get a DMZ option, whether it's DMZ singles or if it's like only a couple squads of 3. So we'll make separate videos on the other maps, and just remember to have fun in DMZ. You have insured weapons. If you lose your stuff, it's not the end of the world. The more you explore, the more you fight, the more you get used to the map, the easier DMZ becomes, and honestly, the more fun it becomes. So just definitely keep in mind of the gas, keep in mind where your extractions are, have a goal, and that's my real tips for DMZ. Have a goal, just know where you're at, and just work towards something, because it's always fun. And if you die, oh well. You can go in again, get cash, and make your cooldown reduce, or just wait 2 hours and have your weapon again. DMZ is not end-all be-all. You can die and be okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was very kind of baseline for beginners. I'm going to make more videos about DMZ, but if there's anything specific you want me to talk about or you want to know about DMZ, please leave me a comment. I'll be happy to make another video. And I hope you all subscribe and stick around for the next one. Thank you.